Alright, now here this is sitting on the edge of the piece of paper, emerges from behind this ear, and so line it out. Now then, I'm just evaluating the angle that I see this line. Gosh, it's quite hard to transfer it from looking at it in the air to down here. I'm going to commit myself to that, which gives me this inside angle, which I observe. So in perspective, the right angle of the paper that the rabbit is sitting on appears to form this angle. Of course, the paper goes right way behind rabbit. Yep, comes out. So it's another good way of checking that what I drew was lined up well. And then the angle here is much more open. This angle appears much more open than that one. That one's become less than a right angle, even though in reality the paper is a right angle. But in perspective, that one's become less than a right angle, and that one's become more than a right angle. Right, enough pencil drawing. And I shall start. I'll start drawing it with pen, and then I'm going to stop the video. You're not going to see me do all the pen work because I don't think that would be terribly useful, to be honest. If you see me start, then I'll stop the video and it'll be cut to the next part of the work, which will be adding colour, which of course is the optional part for you anyway. So there's one ear more or less done. I'll probably go back to it at some point. When I've done everything, I'll go back over and darken any tones that I think need darkening. When I've drawn the edge of this ear, I'll just do a little bit of shading in this area. Then I will stop and carry on, coming back to you when I'm ready to put the colour on. Perhaps I'll bring the drawing over more to the middle. Maybe easier for you to see what I've been doing. So here the shadow is on the wall that the rabbit is leaning against. And I'm making a completely different mark. It actually is really difficult to see where the ear ends and the shadow begins as I'm looking at the subject. But hopefully, if once everything is done and all the shadows are there, all the textures there, it'll make sense. Okay, we're back. I've been working for, I don't know how long, maybe an hour and a half or something like that. And I've got all the tonal values rendered, all the texture differentiated. Enough pen work. So putting the pen away, I'm just going to erase any pencil marks so that I can bring my paint in. Watercolour paint. And I've got out some colour. When I was doing my mark making earlier, I tested out some of this yellow colour, which is a lovely warm cadmium yellow. Just added a bit more water with the brush there. I'll test the strength out to see how strong that colour is. Probably about right, I think. I'll need to make it a bit stronger for his little nose. What I'm going to do now is just, looking back at the subject, just dab a little colour here and there and see what it looks like. Just adding a little bit more stronger colour into this little pool of paint here for Bunny's little nose. It's quite interesting. It's the combination of the blue pen and the yellow paint. Seeing a kind of greeny colour, which is okay, it's not unpleasant, not exactly what the rabbit looks like. And also you can see probably the paper is bulging there because it's wet. Doesn't really matter, I'm not worried about that. Not making a masterpiece here. It's only cartridge paper and it will cockle when you put watercolour on it. Look how cockled that is there. But I have found in the past, I'll just dry his nose, that's overlapped a little bit there. I have found in the past when I've worked with watercolour in a sketchbook that after it's dry and you close the book, the paper dries reasonably flat. Certainly doesn't really make too much difference to the way the drawings look. They're not going to go in a frame, so I'm not worried about the cockled paper. It's just about having a place to go where you do your practice, have some fun,